Hello, sports lovers. Today's episode is going to be about the saga between David Benavides and Dmitry Bivol. So, if this is the type of content you do enjoy on social media, please hit the subscribe button, press the bell icon, express your views in the comment section, and give this video a thumbs up. This is your boy Mad. Now, straight to the saga that has been happening in the light heavyweight division. And ever since David Benavides moved one weight up where he was previously at the super middleweight division, he became a mandatory for the WBC champion. As at the time he became a mandatory, the belt was with Artur Beterbiev, who then fought Dmitry Bivol and lost via unanimous decision to Dmitry Bivol. But the most surprising thing is that the WBC wants to enforce this particular mandatory because the two fighters, that is Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol, they have agreed in principle to participate in a third fight, which would make it a trilogy because Artur Beterbiev won the first fight, Dmitry Bivol has won the second fight, so they would want to know who is the best among each other, and a trilogy is going to definitely settle that. But the WBC are not interested in the trilogy, they just want to exercise their mandatory. A lot of people are calling this hypocritical because David Benavides was a mandatory for Saul Canelo Alvarez for several years, about 2.5 years, but the WBC never exercised that mandatory option. But here they are, less than 2 months of he becoming a mandatory in another weight class. They want to enforce that. Others are calling it hypocritical. Others are saying that now they want to enforce the law. I think that it is a hypocritical stance from the WBC because this is a guy who has been your champion on 2 occasions, did not lose his championships in the ring and lost it outside the ring, and he had been a mandatory for 2 years. He did not get a he did not get a chance at the super middleweight division. He moves up in weight, do 2 fights, whom were not originally. His second fight, he fought someone who was not originally at the weight class, who had not done even match at the weight class, and became a mandatory. No problem. But why do you enforce that mandatory? Why don't you say that the winner of the trilogy would be mandated to fight David Benavides, because it gives him the right opportunity to become an undisputed champion. Yes, it gives David Benavides an undisputed championship route, because if you know that, it is common sense to tell you that Dmitry Bivol would be loyal to His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, as His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh has stated that he wasn't interested in the Dmitry Bivol versus David Benavides fight as at that time, because he himself has promised a trilogy. So that should tell you that Dmitry Bivol would go with His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh in order to enforce the rematch. After all, both men have been undisputed. Artur Beterbiev have been undisputed. Dmitry Bivol has been undisputed, and that has gone on their record. A third fight will just have settled who is the better of the two. So I think that it would have made sense for Team Benavides to hold on and then sign an agreement in principle, or agree in principle, to fight the winner of the third fight. But he pushed for it. Now Dmitry Bivol's lawyers, 24 hours to the purse bid, they told the WBC that they have officially vacated the belt. Then Mauricio Suleiman got angry. He was fuming that Dmitry Bivol got 2 million from his last fight and is docking 8 million from the fight with David Benavides. It doesn't make sense, because that has categorically been debunked by Eddie Hearn, who is also the co-promoter of Dmitry Bivol. He said Dmitry Bivol did not make less than 8 million in the two fights, but it was reported as at that time that Dmitry Bivol made over 10 million in the first fight and in the second fight. So Eddie Hearn did not want to put the purse out there categorically, but he stated that in the two fights with Alta Beta BF, Dmitry Bivol made categorically more than the 8 million Mauricio Suleiman is suggesting. So why would Mauricio Suleiman come out and be doing a PR for a fighter? I don't think it's in the right direction, and it's a sign of a good faith, because this is the same Mauricio Suleiman who has stated categorically during the COVID period that he wasn't going to allow for the undisputed to manifest because of the origin of Dmitry Bivol. Dmitry Bivol has dual nationality, which one is at loggerhead with another. I don't want to mention the two countries that are at loggerheads with one another, but if you are familiar with international politics, you know that there are two countries who are at loggerheads in a serious commotion with each other, where Dmitry Bivol comes from. So he did not want Dmitry Bivol to first of all compete for the WBC title, having banned fighters or athletes from that particular country. So it is not strange that he is now suggesting that if Dmitry Bivol does not fight whomever he wants, then Dmitry Bivol would be forced into a purse bid, and Dmitry Bivol, I think, took the best boxing decision in his interest. He would want to be regarded as the best of this era, and I don't think that David Benavidez has done enough at light heavyweight to be regarded as the best at light heavyweight. He hasn't done enough. He's just had two fights at light heavyweight. One was, I think, with Boo Boo. One was with Boo Boo. Then the second one, I have forgotten. I'll bring you the second fight, the Cuban fighter at the light heavyweight. So he doesn't have a comprehensive record at the light heavyweight division in order for you to state categorically that he is being dogged. All the same, I think that this is the best decision, and I don't consider this as a dog at all. And the second fighter was David Morrell. So if I were to advise Dmitry Bivol, I would have told him to vacate the belt and then go for the Alta Beta BF fight, because these two have done extensive work at the light heavyweight division, and we would like to see the one who is better of the two. And this is my take on this particular issue, and a lot of people side with me. Though the David Benavidez fight would be very, very intriguing, it would be the match of styles. Especially, I remember when Dmitry Bivol wanted to fight Zodo Ramirez, it was an interesting vibe because of the match in styles, but Dmitry Bivol stood out tall, dominated Ramirez in that particular fight, who was way bigger than him. And I don't think that styles against David Benavidez would be, because David Benavidez is easy to hit, but the precision, he throws a lot of fast combination. But this is a boxer in the person of Dmitry Bivol who does not stay in a particular spot for long. So I don't think that David Benavidez has a huge advantage in this particular fight. As skill-wise, I think that Dmitry Bivol is ahead of him, experience-wise, and someone who has really dominated. And David Benavidez, since moving to the light heavyweight division, I don't feel that he has carried that devastating power into that particular division. So for my take, I think that it is the right decision for Dmitry Bivol to vacate the belt and then look forward to facing Alta Beta BF earlier this year. So this is my humble take on this particular event. Please hit the subscribe button, press the bell icon, express your views in the comment section, and share this particular video with friends and family. But there is some information I would need to give to you guys with regards to the demise of the Nigerian boxer. There has been a commission of inquiry that has been instituted by the Minister of Sports and Recreation in Ghana, where he has copied the Nigerian High Commission to observe proceedings in this particular case. So I think that there would be fair hearing. I have seen letters, I have cited letters in which people have been invited, promoters have been invited to give the account of that particular event. So thank you for watching. Stay positive. I'll be bringing you more details on that particular issues as we go along.